Dear friends, this is episode number 61 of the Limitation Act. In the last episode, we were dealing with section 29 of the Limitation Act, and I was reading section 29(2). A part of it is already completed. Next part is, I said that section 3 of the Limitation Act will apply as if the period which is provided in the schedule, provided in the special statute were the period provided in the schedule. And for the purpose of determining any period of limitation prescribed for any suit, appeal or application by any special or local law. The provisions contained in section 4 to 24 inclusive of the Limitation Act shall apply. We'll stop here. So a period of limitation is provided in the special statute. That period is different from the period provided in the schedule. Certain computations are required. Under sections 4 to 24 of the Limitation Act, and for the computation of the same, 4 to 24 of the Limitation Act shall apply only and so far as and to the extent to which they are not specifically excluded by such special or local law. Suppose the special or local law says that the provisions of 4 to 24 or any of the provisions of the Limitation Act will not apply. It will not apply. Suppose it says that 4 to 24 of the Limitation Act will apply, then it will apply. Suppose the special statute does not say anything either way, what will happen? That is a most difficult question. Then 4 to 24 of the Limitation Act will apply unless they are specifically excluded by such special or local law. We have got a special or local law. Period of limitation for a suit, appeal or application, take for example 6 months, which is different from the period provided in the schedule to the Limitation Act. That 6 months will apply. And what about the computation under 4 to 24? Look at the special statute, whether the provisions of 4 to 24 or any of these sections are specifically excluded. No. Then 4 to 24 of the Limitation Act will automatically apply to the extent to which they are not specifically excluded by such special or local law. I think I have made the position clear. So we have got 1, there is a special or local law. 2, that special or local law provides for a suit, appeal or application. 3, that special or local law provides for a period of limitation for that suit, appeal or application. 4, the Limitation Act also provides for such suit, appeal or application a period of limitation, and that is different from that period provided in the special or local law. Then the period provided in the special or local law will prevail, and section 3 of the Limitation Act will apply to the suit, appeal or application as if that period which is provided in the special or local law were the period provided under the Limitation Act. And then for computational purposes, sections 4 to 24 of the Limitation Act will apply in so far as and to the extent to which they are not specifically excluded in the special or local law. If the special and local law says that section 5 of the Limitation Act or section 6, 7 and 8 of the Limitation Act will not apply to any suit, appeal or application under this statute, then we cannot import into the special statute the computation under those provisions in the Limitation Act. So long as it is excluded, special statute is the last word. If they are not excluded, then 4 to 24 will apply. Some of the provisions are not excluded, some are excluded. Excluded provisions will not apply, others will apply. Suppose the special statute does not say anything at all to exclude or not to exclude, then 4 to 24 of the Limitation Act will apply. There is a difference in 1908 Act and the 1963 Act. 1908 Act 29(2) exclusion, say reference was only to sections 4, 9, 18 and 22 of the Limitation Act. Section 4, 9, 18 and 22 of the Limitation Act, whereas under the 1963 Act 4 to 24 of the Limitation Act. So when we read decisions pertaining to 1908 Act, we must be very careful. Suppose section 5 or 6, 7 and 8 of the Limitation Act is the scope of interpretation under the 1908 Act, and there is a decision of the Supreme Court, we will be prompted to follow that decision, but that is in respect of 1908 Act, not 1963 Act. So that we have to take into account. So that will apply to that case, true. 1963 Act, that is true, but not with respect to 1963 Act. 1908 Act it will apply. So it has to be, you have to be careful. Then there is one more thing. If it is a classroom, I would have asked that question and got an answer from you. There is one more thing which is not there in 29, which is not there in most of the commentaries. Which is that? We have to add something to 29(2). What is that? That is a general principle which we have seen while dealing with the scope of the Limitation Act in the earlier episodes, that the Limitation Act applies to courts and not to tribunals or quasi-judicial authorities. To courts and not to say tribunals, quasi-judicial authorities or administrative authorities. Therefore, that principle has to be imported into 29(2). How to be done? I will explain. So there is a special statute which provides for a period of limitation. It is different from the period provided in the schedule. That suit, appeal or application is before a forum under the special statute, which is not the civil court or any court. We need not use the expression civil court, but a tribunal. What will happen to 29(2) with respect to 4 to 24? 4 to 24 will apply only if it is included in the special statute. Whereas if it is, the difference is this: under the special statute the proceeding is before a court, then 4 to 24 of the Limitation Act will apply unless any of these provisions are excluded by the special or local law. Whereas if it is before a tribunal or a quasi-judicial authority other than a court, then that to apply 4 to 24, it must be specifically provided in the special statute. That is a distinction. That is not there in 29(2) on a reading of it. You will not get it in the commentaries also, but we have to read into it, because that is a general principle. The law presumes that we know it. So the special statute provides for a forum. That forum is not the court. For the purpose of computation of the period of limitation under the special statute, 4 to 24 of the Limitation Act can be applied only if it is specifically provided in the special statute. Whereas the special statute is there and the forum is also a district court or any other court. For example, under the Indian Telegraph Act, for certain purposes the district court is the authority. Rent control legislations, in some states it is the court. The appeal goes to, though it is worded appellate authority, it is a court. That is why we dealt with in Mukri Gopalan as well as MP Steele and other decisions. And 2 decisions of Justice Hari Prasad which I mentioned. I will deal with it here. Here also I will deal with it. So that the question is, there are several authorities in India, some under these taxing statutes. Then the question is, period of limitation is also provided. Then the question is, section 4 to 24 will apply. 4 to 24 will apply if it is a court, automatic. If it is not a court, that must be specifically conferred. Suppose it is an authority and it has got all the trappings of a court, then it need not be mentioned, automatically applies. So the word used is tribunal or authority or any other thing, but it is really a court. Then the court will have to decide, will have an additional task of deciding the question whether the authority under the special statute has got all the trappings of a court. If the court finds that it has got all the trappings of a court, then 4 to 24 of the Limitation Act will apply automatically, and that need not be specifically provided in the statute to include it. To exclude it, it has to be specifically. Automatic application. So if it is a court, 4 to 24 will automatically apply unless their application is specifically excluded by the special statute. If it is a forum other than the court under the special statute, to apply 4 to 24, it must be specifically provided in the special statute. See the difference? Court, to apply 4 to 24, unless excluded by the special statute, that will automatically apply. To a tribunal or authority which is not a court, which does not satisfy the definition of court, to apply 4 to 24, it must be specifically provided. This distinction you have to bear in mind all throughout. Then there is no difficulty. 29.2 on a reading, anybody will throw it away. So what is it? So complicated. It will be complicated. No escape from it. Even now I have not understood the use of expression only. Read again. The provisions contained in section 4 to 24 shall apply only in so far as and to the extent to which they are not specifically expressly excluded by such special or local law. Only, and 4 to 24 shall apply only in so far as and to the extent to which they are not expressly excluded. Suppose that only is taken away. Read it. Sections 4 to 24 shall apply in so far as and to the extent to which they are not expressly excluded. Enough. That is an extra thing. See, my personal view is that I searched in the commentaries, I could not find anything. Whether there is any significance for that only. Let us take it. Let the statute is there, nobody has raised any voice against it. Let us see that that is there. As if. So the position is very clear. Once we understand this provision in this context, like this, there is no doubt at all. So these are all the fundamental principles. I am spending time on it because that is a very fundamental, goes to the root of it. No lawyer can afford to forget it. Even from sleep, if somebody asks, you must be able to say. Special statute, all right, special statute, if there is a provision for a period of limitation, that will apply, no doubt about it. If it is an appeal application or a suit, all right. What about 4 to 24? Ask the question whether it is in a court. Under the special statute, whether the proceeding is in a court, then all right, 4 to 24 will apply. Unless they are excluded by the special statute. No, it is not a court, it is a tribunal. Then is it provided in the special statute that those provisions or any of them will apply? No. Then this will not apply. It will not apply. You must be able to give this answer any time. So my attempt is to equip you with this answer. This is embedded in your mind. Then you approach a problem, no difficulty. Even then there may be difficult questions, we will deal with it. But these fundamental principles, see, you must be thorough. So I spent time, in spite of a sore throat, I spent time because I thought that it is required. If anybody says that it has to be explained again, that as in the classroom I used to ask, but here there is no such facility. If any of one comments that it is to be again explained, I will do it 100 times, no difficulty. So that I want my viewers to fully comprehend it, fully understand it. Yes, nobody taught us about these things. See, by again reading and searching for the doubts, to clearing the doubts, reading decisions, then I have to find out all these things. That is how I came across all these things. Nobody told me, nobody taught me. So we have to apply our mind to these questions when it comes to interpretation of statutes, application of the provisions. These are all the fundamental things which are to be applied. So our mind should be set. All right, what is a statute? Let us see. We must be able to say that. Yes. So 29.2 is that. Again I will repeat, if any of the viewer says that he has not understood it, I will explain it again, though it may be sometimes difficult for other viewers to hear it again. But so long as it is not clear, it has to be explained. Now, we will go to some of the decided cases so that you will get a full insight of it. There are so many decisions. It will take 2 or 3 episodes. Please bear with me. Then you will understand the various scope of nuances of section 29.2 particularly. Now 1994 1 SEC 64. 1994 1 SEC 64. Parallel citation AER 1993 Supreme Court 2579. 2 judges of the Supreme Court. Name of the case, Professor Sumer Chand versus Union of India and others. That is a suit for malicious prosecution under the Police Act, Delhi. Section 140 provides for a period of limitation 6 months, which is different from the Limitation Act, how to compute it, which will prevail, etc. discussed here. Paragraph 8. Since the Act is a special law which prescribes a period of limitation different from the period prescribed in the schedule to the Limitation Act, for suits against persons governed by the Act in relation to matters covered by section 140. By virtue of section 29(2) of the Limitation Act, the period of limitation prescribed by section 140 of the Act, that is the Police Act, would be the period of limitation prescribed for such suit and not the period prescribed in the schedule to the Limitation Act. This means that if the suit filed by the appellant falls within the ambit of section 140, then the period of limitation for institution of the suit would be that prescribed in section 140 and not the period prescribed in Article 74 of the Limitation Act. Article 74. For compensation for malicious prosecution, 1 year. False imprisonment, 1 year, 73. all connected matters 1 year. Connected matters 1 year under the Limitation Act. But under the special statute, Delhi Act, Police Act, it is 6 months. So 6 months will apply. Then 4 to 24, that is a different question. This is Professor Sumer Chand, Supreme Court. Then another thing which I wanted to mention. A special statute provides for a period of limitation for a suit, appeal or application. Let us take it suit of a peculiar nature. Certain rights may be for the first time provided in special statutes. So you will not find a place in the Limitation Act or in any other substantive law, because it is a right which is created for the first time in the special statute. A situation which is was not in the contemplation of the lawmakers earlier, and a new right is created, new remedy is provided. Therefore, the fundamental thing which occurs in 29(2) is that there is a period of limitation under the special statute, and there is a period of limitation for the same thing in the Limitation Act. In the Limitation Act, you will not find a place for such thing. Then what will happen? One Supreme Court judgment which says that then that means it is different from the period provided in the schedule. Why? There is a residuary article, Article 113 of the Limitation Act, which provides that if there is no period provided elsewhere in any suit for which no period of limitation is provided elsewhere in the schedule, 3 years. So that special statute contains a peculiar nature of a suit, and that is not a suit which is contemplated under any of the articles of the Limitation Act, and therefore naturally you will not find a place in any of the articles. Then the question is whether the period provided in the special statute is different from the period provided in the schedule to the Limitation Act. Answer is yes. Why? Because if there is no other period provided, Article 113 will apply, which is a residuary provision. Applications also 137 of the Limitation Act. Appeals, there is another thing. So that doubt does not arise, but still there is one Supreme Court judgment I saw which says this point. Now, we will go to the next decision, that is a Kerala High Court judgment, 1989, 1 Kerala Law Times, KLT, 89-1 KLT, 927, same as 1989 KHC, 210, Prabha versus Shankaragiri, Prabha versus Shankaragiri, single bench, Justice Radhakrishna Menon. That is a suit for damages for malicious prosecution. Kerala Police Act had application. Now Kerala Police Act, new act has come. In para 9 and 15, you may see from the discussion in para 7 and 8, so 7 and 8 also, it is clear that the period of limitation prescribed by section 64(3) of the Police Act is different from that prescribed under Article 74 of the Limitation Act. That being the position, and the Police Act being a special law within the meaning of 29(2) of the Limitation Act, a suit contemplated under section 64(3) to say has been validly instituted must be instituted within 6 months of the date on which the offence or wrong was alleged to have been committed or done. That period will apply. To sum up, para 15, a suit for damages for malicious prosecution against a magistrate or a police officer is not governed by the common law of England, which provides the basis for such action ordinarily, but is one regulated by section 64 of the Police Act, and the said suit to say that it has been validly initiated shall be instituted within 6 months from the date on which the offence or wrong is alleged to have been committed or done, and not within 1 year from the date on which the plaintiff is acquitted or criminal proceedings was terminated, as stated under Article 74 of the Limitation Act. This is what is held. Same point which is discussed under in a different manner. Then 2009 KHC 4406 T. Chandran versus Ganapathy and others. T. Chandran versus Ganapathy and others. There suit for malicious prosecution, Kerala Police Act, 6 months will apply. Then next is 1989 2 SCC. 1989 2 SCC 613. Parallel citation AER 1989 Supreme Court 1477. That is under the Hindu Marriage Act. Time required for obtaining copy of the judgment will have to be excluded for computing the period of limitation for filing an appeal. That was the question. And in paragraph 12, the schedule in the Limitation Act does not provide for an appeal under the Hindu Marriage Act, but it is only provided in clause 4 of section 28 of the Hindu Marriage Act. Thus, the limitation provided in the clause 4 of 28 is different from the schedule to the Limitation Act. We will consider this again because that is a point which I said earlier. We will consider this again in the next episode. Thank you. We will see again.